with women. We get to provide health care to women. We get to provide education to women. We get to care about the men that they love, the women that they love, and we get to make sure that everyone has good sex. Healthy sex, responsible sex, and we're learning a lot about that at Sundance. A lot of these films deal with good sex, healthy sex, responsible and fun sex. But we are even more fortunate to have our national office, Planned Parenthood Federation of America, here with us in Utah to celebrate real women. That's REEL women and film. And I got to see the discussion at one today, and it made me realize the importance of women and their voices in film. Because I get to talk to the press, not about fun sex, but I get to talk to the press, and I get to talk to legislators and policymakers, but women in film get to talk to everybody. And they have such good messages to give. And one thing that's been exciting about Sundance is our great Director of Education, Annabelle Scheinberg, has got a group of teens. They've been passing chocolate pill packs so you can have safe sex. They've been passing condoms. They're in the black shirts. And they are bloggers here at Sundance as teen council to learn about social media, film, women in film, men in film, film as an expression of life. And it's a great project, and so we're going to have Rosie, who is one of our wonderful teens, say a few words to you about this project that they've been working on, who they've gotten to meet, who they've got to interview. Maybe they've interviewed you. So Rosie, come on up.
Hi, so my name is Rosie Phillips, and I've been working with Teen Council since the beginning of this fall. And before telling you guys about the whole blogging experience that I've been doing, I was just going to talk a little bit about Teen Council as a whole. And I think one of the reasons this experience has been so positive for me is because, I mean, first off, I've learned so much about sexual health. And before starting Teen Council, I knew a fair amount, but definitely not as much as I had wanted to know, and definitely not as much as my basic 9th grade health teacher was going to tell me. So it's been really cool to get much more like real information. And I think that this program is super important for young people because I know what it feels like to be in a health class where there's an adult talking to you and you can't relate to them and they're kind of intimidating, and you're talking about these subjects that for a lot of us are kind of uncomfortable and you don't really want to talk about them. So I think that it's so important to teach our peers because it creates a safe space. And I think that us as teen council members being able to show our confidence and that we're comfortable talking about these issues, that it will help our peers be comfortable with talking about it too. You know, we want them to be okay with talking about STIs and contraception and even anatomy, which to me seems like something that, you know, shouldn't be weird to talk about because it's our own bodies, but in so many cases it is. And you know, I think that to continue like progressing and to continue our education, we need to tell like the people around us this stuff, and we need to do it in a relatable way so it's not scary for them. And I'm really thankful that I heard about Teen Council because it's created, the community that it's created is really amazing. Like all of my peers are some of the like smartest, most passionate, most kind people I've met. You know, some of my closest friends are in Teen Council with me, and it's created this space that's it's like judgment-free, and you can have these healthy and like really cool conversations and discussions about sexual health that a lot of times you can't have with your parents because they don't want to have them, or you don't want to have them, and sometimes you can't even have them with your friends because it's uncomfortable for people. So it's created this great environment, and it's not only helped me like talk to, you know, people that are younger than me, but it's also helped me like interact with adults in like a more professional and respectable way. Like I've learned how to conduct myself in a way that I know I'll be respected and that adults will hear me rather than just thinking I'm some kid. And it's been really cool because with Sundance this week, a couple of us who are doing this vlogging thing, we've got to interact with adults that I never thought I'd be able to meet. We got to interview the directors of After Tiller, which was really amazing. I don't know if you guys were there, but that was really, really cool. We actually got to meet and interview Anita Hill, which was awesome. And everything she said was so cool. And she gave us really great advice at the end about being your authentic self and making change in the way that you can make change. And that's something that Teen Council has also helped me with. I'm confident that even if I'm just helping someone in a really small way, like even if it's just a little 7th grader knowing something about herpes or an STI that they don't know about or contraception, even if it's just small, like those are the small steps are what's going to help us in the end. And it's been really cool to see these young directors and these women in film be able to express themselves in a way that's not just giving a speech or, you know, painting a picture, which is also really cool, but it's a really up-and-coming media thing that I think is really powerful. And I'd just like to thank all the facilitators for Teen Council and Planned Parenthood for giving all of us this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Rosie. My name is Eric Ferrero. I'm the Vice President for Communications at Planned Parenthood Federation of America. And I don't want to go on, I just want to thank all of you for being here. We want to thank Mar for the incredible space that she's opened up to us. And to thank Carrie and her incredible staff and volunteers for making all of this happen. And Annette Cumming, one of our great national leaders who's here tonight. Thank you, hi Annette. And really what Rosie talked about is really why we're here, which is bringing forward and supporting and empowering young voices. And all across the country, Planned Parenthood is reaching into the next generation really as never before. And we see Sundance doing that. We want to be part of that with you all and partner with you all to do more of that. I think, you know, we have 3 million patients a year at Planned Parenthood around the country, and 76% of them are under the age of 30. These are the folks who we're caring for and helping build healthy lives for the future. We reach 1 million people a year through sex ed. More than half of them are teenagers, through teen councils like the model being built here in Utah. And certainly on the advocacy side, over the last 2 years, with all of the attacks on women's health and on Planned Parenthood, one of the great things that has happened from that is that those have brought an entire generation forward that may have taken things for granted at a certain time to say, stop, not so fast. And in the last 2 years alone, we've gained 2 million new supporters. And the most important thing is that more than half of them are under the age of 35. And so they're the future, and they're who we're here to celebrate with you tonight, and who we're looking forward to partnering with you to get those stories out. So I want to introduce one of our great champions and partners in helping get those voices out. Somebody that you all know well, Caroline from Sundance.
I'm really speaking on my own behalf. I'm not here representing Sundance. We're a nonpartisan organization, but I'm very proud to speak on my own behalf. And partly I've been politicized by my sister, who's a pro-choice activist, Stephanie in the back, and I'm really also proud to link this to some of the work we're doing at the Sundance Institute and let you know about it, which is we have started a women's initiative at the Sundance Institute to support women and to bring more gender parity to the field of independent film. And I don't know if you've read we've had the distinct honor of working with one of the world's experts on gender in the media, Stacey L. Smith from USC's Annenberg School, and we have embarked on a major study looking at opening up our own submissions and selections over a 12-year period to try to understand what our statistics truly look like and where the barriers truly are for women. And some of the, this year we're in an incredible moment because for the first time ever, and Shari Freelo's here from the festival too, she's been here longer than I have programming, but for the first time ever, and we're pretty excited, our U.S. narrative competition is 50%. 50%. The bad news is that until that happens 3 years in a row, it's not considered a sustained change by social scientists. Okay. The good news is that the gender of the filmmaker matters in the stories that get told out there, and in the prevalence of violence in the films, in the prevalence of blood in the films. This is all social science research that we can give you. The gender of the filmmaker matters in terms of who gets hired to be working behind the camera. So we found in our research that when you had a woman director or a woman producer, the people behind the camera jumped by gender, women jumped 20%. So those are significant statistics, and much of that has been written about this week. I urge you to look it up. It's in the New York Times, the LA Times. We're going to be doing more, and we're going to be organizing our own work, our own programmatic work, to support women artists around the data that we're collecting so that it's no longer conjecture. It's really based on data that we can actually look to and really let it guide us. So anyway, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, my colleagues in Utah. Thank you, Marin, for letting us use the gallery, and congratulations to all of you. We're so happy to be here to toast the 50%, toast the women of Sundance. I'm Karen Spruck, and I'm the Director of Arts and Entertainment Engagement at Planned Parenthood Federation of America. And my team and I work closely with producers, directors, and writers to help develop film and TV content and to place materials on sets that educate and engage the public about reproductive health and sex education. Some of you may have seen some recent examples of our work, like just last Sunday. For example, Hannah, played by Lena Dunham on Girls, was seen exercising in a Planned Parenthood Women Are Watching t-shirt. Lena has been very supportive, and just 2 weeks ago, if you saw NBC's Parenthood, you may have seen another example when a young pregnant woman went to a Planned Parenthood healthcare center. And as happens every day in our healthcare centers, she received sensitive and accurate counseling about her options. She ultimately decided to end her pregnancy and was able to do so at the Planned Parenthood, have a safe and legal abortion. But, as you all know for sure, even as we mark this 40th anniversary of Roe versus Wade, it is extremely rare for a character to have an abortion on TV or film. And even more crazy, it's extremely rare to see a character talk about contraception or to openly use contraception. And I'd like to stop and congratulate Naomi Foner and Mary Jane Skowski, very good girls, who have a condom in their movie. And I'm sure there are others who will tell you a great story. So we know that your films have a tremendous influence and that you want your characters to be as authentic as possible. And that's where my team can come in. We can help you generate ideas for storylines based on our real patient stories that happen at our healthcare centers. We can review scripts for medical accuracy, for legislative accuracy. We do this all the time. We can provide you with posters with some of those condoms, with educational pamphlets, which you'll see at the front, and in your bag there's a list of all the brochures you can get. And they were on the set of Parenthood last week. We can coordinate filming at a Planned Parenthood Health Center or create a mock center like we did for the show Parenthood. And we can also arrange for screenings with our prominent supporters and our prominent supporters in the entertainment industry. So I really hope that you'll take advantage of these services. We truly look forward to working with you and together on this project. I just really want to thank you for coming. Thank you for all that you do. And I want to wish all of you with films and competition good luck. And thank you again.